right. Well, been working with the Section 8 people.
Yeah, so Section 8, so people have asked me in the past, the Section 8, does, and, some people have a stigma against Section 8. Um, we don't. We like the Section 8 program, but whether it makes sense, it really kind of depends, if, like a lot of the stuff we manage here in Orange County, um, if you have a rental in Irvine, you have a rental out there, whatever, Seal Beach or Huntington Beach, nice area. Section 8 probably doesn't make sense, because you're going to have plenty of people looking to rent in nice neighborhoods like that. So you got to kind of see what the income demographics are. And, when me and Jeffrey first were buying investment properties on the Inland Empire, um, yeah, it made sense to use Section 8 because in some instances, Section 8 were actually paying higher rents than what you could get on the market.
And really that is the major factor. I mean, like Huntington Beach, the Section 8 allowance would be less. And it's like if you've got, you know, open market applicants that are willing to pay, higher amount of rent, then why would you want to rent to a Section 8? It's like, yeah, I can get, more money just renting to the open market.
Right. Yeah, exactly. So Section 8 is going to make more sense in areas with lower income demographics. So that it's really looking what the pool of prospects are out there. If it's a lot of low income people, um, and we did very well, early on in our investing careers, buying cheap properties and areas that were maybe more like C class type areas. Um, and so that's why using Section 8 made a lot of sense over there. We did very well with the and some of the Section 8 people were better than the regular market rate people out there. So looking at what the demand for housing was out there and out in those areas where we were first starting out there, yeah, yeah, there was demand for housing, but um to us, Section 8 is just another it's just like another market. Okay, it's another market to provide a product to, and so we're just trying to create as many eyeballs, bring as many prospects as we could to those particular rentals at that time. Um, and then it may also even depend on the type of property. If you have a lower quality property, um, we actually have a client that they were one of them were they partnered with us way back when we were first starting, but these guys decided to buy a bunch of condos for really cheap at the auctions. And the condos, they're great condos, great bones and all that, nice layouts and all that, but they were in tough neighborhoods, very tough neighborhoods where, you know, um, people that looking to put their kids in good schools, they're not going to rent in those neighborhoods. So so we had to open it up to Section 8 renters, and that was a good strategy there because we were able to get good rents, and as long as we qualified these people properly, it was never an issue. So you got some pros and cons to that. It really just comes down to the area and the type of property that you have there.
Yeah, and I would also add that the one of the pros is like if you have a Section 8 tenant and they have to pay a portion of the rent, and then HUD, the federal government does the subsidy through the local, San Bernardino County or whatever, Long Beach, LA County. It just varies by where the property is located. But one of the pros is that if the resident doesn't pay their portion, it's easier to get them to comply because they could put themselves at risk of losing their Section 8 benefit. So that is a pro with that, is that it's easier to make sure that they actually are consistent with their payments all the time. And then the other pro is that the other part, the subsidized part, is basically guaranteed income that's coming in. And it's usually always on the third of the month, but it's very consistent. And so when you're working with Section 8 residents, you do, like, one of the cons is that you have to go through annual inspections. And depending on the, like I said, the where the housing authority is located, and the inspectors that are working for the housing authority, you can have some that really put you through the ringer in order to get an approval. And we've had some where we've had really very good relationships with the inspectors, even where we had multiple properties that were Section 8. So it was like we'd see these inspectors, not on just one single property, but we'd see them on multiple properties, to the point where, we actually did have a relationship with them. And it's like, it was easier to actually get the inspection approved. So, it's a con in the sense that if you have a difficult inspector that's looking for any reason to fail your unit, but it can be a pro if you got inspectors that you have a good relationship with, and that they're on your side in terms of helping out the home, the tenant, and you as the property manager and the property owner to just go ahead and get it approved, so that the resident doesn't have to go through the trouble of trying to move somewhere else with their voucher.